The industry that I think is best for you to get into as a newbie or someone transitioning into project management from a different career previously will be, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Ira and we do project management over here. And if you're just coming back, you already know the deal. We're about to get into a really good video today, so let's get it popping. All right guys, so you probably clicked on this video because you're looking to get into project management, but you're not too sure what industry you should be targeting. The truth is you can find project management roles in so many industries, so you will have so much choice. And the reason for this is because there is change constantly happening and project managers are there to manage that change. This being said, as you grow in your career, the types of projects that you decide to specialize in might not necessarily translate to the industry that you're working in. So for example, you might decide to specialize in technology transformation projects, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be working in a tech firm. You could be doing this within retail, healthcare, or even a legal institution. I just want to make that distinction because in this video we're specifically going to be talking about industries, not project management specializations. But if you think you might want a video on that, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see from me, and then I might just be able to bring that out as well. The industry that you decide to work in can have a strong influence on the pace of your career progression. It will tend to determine where you start to build your technical and industry knowledge, and also the types of people that you are exposed to who can help you progress into other kind of roles. Now, there's nothing wrong with moving from industry to industry during your career. You can definitely get a wide variety of projects and increase your knowledge. However, I would say if you want to progress fast and demand higher monies, more salary in a shorter amount of time, it's better to stay in a particular industry that you like, become an expert in delivering certain types of projects within that industry, and then you'll be able to demand more. So in this video guys, I'm going to be breaking down the most common industries where you can find project management. I won't be going to all of them, of course there's so many. If you're unsure about what industry you want to work in or which industry will bring you the most fulfillment, I'm hoping that I can give you a little bit of a guideline so you can make the best choice for you. The industries that I'll be covering in this video are tech and engineering, finance, construction, marketing and advertising, law, defense, and healthcare. And to help to guide you through this video, I will also rate these industries based on the following criteria. Number one will be ease of entry into the industry, so how easy it is for newbies in particular to get into the industry. Number two is career growth potential. I'll be touching on the longevity of that industry, how long I think project management roles will be available in that industry, and then also how easy it will be for you to move up in your career within that industry. And then lastly, I'll be talking about pay and benefits. Let's get into this breakdown right now. So first of all, we're going to start off with tech and engineering because this is very close to my heart. This is where I reside. This is the industry in which I work, and I have always worked since I started my project management career. The tech and engineering industry is all about the evolution of new technologies and products which will ultimately make customers' lives easier and more efficient. Working in the tech space, you will always be learning something new because new technologies are coming out all the time. The rate of change is crazy. And because of that, the types of projects that you'll be working on are most likely going to be very fast-paced and very demanding. In a lot of cases, if projects are not delivered on time in this industry, the company could lose a lot of money because they lose out on first mover advantage. The projects that you can expect to deliver are usually in the form of software development, digital initiatives, and IT infrastructure. So let's talk about ease of entry. In my experience, I found that the tech industry is a lot more forgiving to people that don't have hard technology skills or a technical degree. Tech is constantly evolving, like I said before, so even if you learned something really technical 10 years ago, it might not even be relevant to the types of projects that you're delivering today. Employers in the tech industry will value people that can show good initiative, flexibility, critical thinking, and are able to work under pressure at a very fast pace. For this reason, if you're a newbie, I do think it's a good place to think about. However, it has become incredibly competitive over the last 3 to 4 years. It's no longer as easy to get in because so many people are trying to get in there. For ease of entry, I'm going to give tech 2.5 stars. Career growth potential. Now, starting with the tech industry in itself, I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So in terms of there being PM roles, maybe not necessarily called project manager or something like that, it might change over the time. But in terms of roles demanding project management skills within the tech space, I do think that that's still going to be relevant, say, in the next 10 years. This being said, like most companies, when the economy shrinks or they want to make savings to certain areas, they might reduce the amount of roles available to PMs, etc. We've seen this in the tech layoffs that happened last year. Brutal. I do think it will pick up. So again, I still think it's a good place to build your experience, even though there might be peaks and troughs in terms of demand for roles at that time. If you can build your experience within this field as well, get a couple projects underneath your belt, you will be able to demand higher pay quite quickly as well. For that, I'm giving it 2.5 stars. For pay and perks, entry-level roles within the tech industry tend to pay more than other industries. That's what my experience has been. And if you really think about it this way, companies can only pay more if they have money. Most of the biggest companies in the world are tech firms. And on top of that, there's a lot of contracting opportunities in the tech space. So if you want to eventually earn a per day wage, that is definitely something that's attainable. I'm going to give it 3 stars. Another common industry where you can find PM roles is within finance. So this could be within accounting firms, corporate banks, investment banks, or even private equity firms. Project management professionals within this industry look for ways to keep costs down whilst also optimizing productivity. Projects tend to focus on implementing change that will make the finance professionals' lives easier. So for example, this could be implementing a new system that will give them better visibility of their cash flow for clients, or something like that. So let's talk ease of entry. Similar to the tech industry, I haven't really found that financial institutions ask for hard finance degrees or financial modeling skills or anything very, very specific to financial industries. Of course, if you do have these skills, it can be more attractive, but is it usually a hard requirement for entry-level roles? No. Employers will favour people that can show strong process improvement skills because a lot of the projects within this industry are focused on that. For ease of entry, I'm going to give it 3 stars. For career growth potential, firstly starting with the industry itself, most financial institutions are very sensitive to change in the economy, supply, demand, etc. So when, you know, the economy ain't doing so well, you might feel it a lot more in a financial institution than other places. And therefore, it's a little bit volatile for me. I kind of lack a little bit of stability. For that reason alone, I'm going to give it a 1.5 stars. But for pay and perks, that star rating is going all the way up for me. There's no surprise that financial institutions tend to pay their employees more because they actually got some money. At least the ones that are doing well. Also, when it comes to like office parties, Christmas parties, and all of that majag, if you work for a bank, they tend to be really good. Finance tends to have a lot of good contracting opportunities for when you're progressing your career. So for that reason, I'm giving it 3 stars. The next industry you might want to consider is construction. Now, when most people hear construction, they simply just think building houses. But believe me, it's a lot more exciting than that. Projects within construction focus heavily on the design, construction, and efficient upgrades of new buildings and facilities. And when you think about construction, don't just think about residential properties. That's actually the easy stuff. Projects could also cover commercial buildings and industrial sites. Now, let's talk about ease of entry. And this is where the star rating for me goes a little bit lower. To start working on construction projects, especially as a project manager, construction firms tend to want you to have a degree in construction or some kind of higher education qualification in that area. Technical expertise here is highly favored, if not mandated. And it kind of makes sense. If something should go wrong to do with a building where people, you know, take their legs and enter, there's potential for fatalities and other catastrophic impacts. So some of the projects in this industry can be a lot more risky, hence why they're demanding a little bit more expertise. For this reason, I'm giving it a 1 star. Career growth potential, on the other hand, baby, we going all the way up. I'm giving this 3 stars before I even explain it. If stability is what you're after, an industry that will always be in demand, then construction is creme de la creme, if not one of the best. If you really think about it, people are always going to need a place to live, Existing residential, commercial buildings, whatever it is, will always need upgrades eventually. There are always new regulations, cladding rules, all of that, and that will need to be implemented as change happens. So PMs will always be needed. Also, in terms of progression in your actual career, once you've built a house once or done a fit out in a department store once, you've got that experience under your bag. You can easily do it again. Yes, there might be a few more complexities, but that employer already knows, hey, cool, we kind of do standard work here. I can be confident that you can do this again. Therefore, I'm happy to promote you over and over and over again. For all these reasons, I'm giving it 3 stars. Now for pay and perks, this is where it's a little bit 50-50 for me. For entry level roles, when you're first starting, construction is one of the lowest that I've actually seen in any industry. This is most likely because projects within the construction industry are very large scale, usually starting at multiple millions of pounds. You're not going to give that project to someone that has never done this before, someone that's quite inexperienced, etc. So you'll need to learn under a senior project manager or program manager for quite a long time, get that experience, take on big deliverables within that construction project before you can demand higher pay. But if you can stomach a few years of low pay and get a really good project under your belt during this time, hey, I have seen contracting opportunities within the construction fields at 800, 900, 1K a day for PMs. Is not a joke. Not only do I always see roles within the construction industry, they tend to pay a lot more when you become experienced. So for this, I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars, a little bit lower at the beginning of your career, but the perks at the end could be priceless. Next up, we have marketing and advertising, and this is where my creative people amongst you can really shine. You'll be working with brilliantly creative minds to produce the most amazing campaigns. This industry is heavily focused on using communication and influence to promote brands and products. Projects usually include development and implementation of campaigns or process improvements to ensure that KPIs are met and they are keeping their clients very happy. So for ease of entry, I'll say it's pretty moderate. Most marketing and advertising firms don't necessarily require a hard degree in a creative subject or in marketing, etc. However, it is highly preferred. They do usually ask for people with a creative kind of background, either it being something that they do on the side, like optimizing SEO or running campaigns as a side hustle, whatever it may be. They tend to like people that have a really strong interest in marketing, even if you don't have a hard degree in marketing. If you can come with like a diploma in marketing or something to show that you are a creative and you know a little bit about campaigns, etc., it will definitely be of great benefit. For this reason, I'm only giving it 2 stars. Career growth potential then. I found that it isn't that great within the marketing and advertising industry. It's quite a niche industry, and especially when companies are going through hard times. Remember, it's very client-based work that you'll be doing within a marketing firm. When clients are going through a hard time, guess what? Like the luxuries like campaigns and all of these things, they tend to get sidelined a little bit. And when they get sidelined a little bit, the marketing firms get less projects. Marketing campaigns can also often be very expensive. So whether a company would want to prioritize this in hard times, I don't really know. When I look online on the job boards for roles within the marketing industry, the industry itself is quite small, so you won't see as many roles as, say, a tech firm. For this reason, I don't know, unless you've got a real heart for it, it might be a little bit more difficult to get in and then also grow up in terms of the ladder, because there will be less opportunities because the industry is quite small. For this, I'm giving it a 1 star. For pay and perks, I'm keeping it short and sweet. For the base pay, they tend to pay quite low. I have not really seen a role within the marketing and advertising industry that is paying good money like that. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist for base pay, but I do know that when certain campaigns go well, etc., they might get larger bonuses. So you need to ask yourself, hey, are you willing to wait until bonus comes, or do you want it to be your base salary? Also, I don't see many contracting opportunities within the marketing and advertising industry. So if that's something that you're looking for as you build your experience in the future, this might not be the one for you. For this reason, I'm giving it 0.5 stars. Let's talk legal and compliance. Legal and compliance refers to the practice of ensuring that companies and their clients are adhering to laws and standards and regulations that are given by whatever body may be governing them. Projects in this industry tend to be quite process heavy and controlled to ensure that the right level of due diligence is taken at every step. Also, the projects within the legal and compliance industry tend to be quite critical. If mistakes are made or projects are not delivered on time, there could be quite heavy fines and in some cases prosecution in the firm itself. For ease of entry, surprisingly, most legal institutes don't require their employees for PM roles specifically to have a law background or a degree in law or have done any kind of law kind of certification. I think the reason for that is because traditionally a lot of the work done within law firms was quite manual, and now it's moving towards like system-based and automation. So the projects that I've seen tend to be more tech and operation based rather than technical legal jargon kind of work, if that kind of makes sense. For ease of entry, I'm going to give it 2 stars. For career growth potential, I have been seeing a lot more PM roles within the legal and compliance industry popping up over the last 2 years. Like I said, a lot of the work traditionally done in this industry was very manual, but now we're moving towards technology to help lawyers and compliance experts do their work more efficiently. We need people to implement it, hence why more PMs are coming on board. I personally think that this trend will continue on in the future, and if you can become an industry expert in delivery within this industry, you will become highly demanded. Pay and perks then, of course, why wouldn't legal firms and compliance institutions have money when they're fining everybody left, right and center for doing bad things and suing? Now I'm only playing, but generally legal institutions, compliance firms tend to be doing quite well financially, and they also understand that the implications of the work that they need to do is quite high risk a lot of the time. They tend to pay their entry level PMs and PMs going forward, whether it be a contractor or a permanent employee, quite high. So for this reason, I'm going to give it 3 stars. Defense. The defense industry manufactures and sells military technology whilst also focusing on how to keep the country safe. Projects in this industry could span from developing new fighter jets to implementing new cybersecurity solutions. Also, the defense industry is big on lowering costs across large-scale projects, looking for efficiencies, ways to save money and increase profits. Ease of entry then. Again, the defense industry doesn't specifically ask for a technical degree. However, a lot of the work that they do is pretty technical and it can be helpful. Also, because of the types of projects that you'll be delivering within this industry, literally defending countries. Most roles within this industry, especially in the UK, require higher level clearance. So a very minimum level. I haven't seen from a UK PM role within the defense industry that they haven't asked you to be SE cleared. That's just a level of security clearance within the UK. I know there are even deeper clearance and higher clearance levels, especially because you might be working on more secretive projects. They want to make sure that there are no cobwebs that they do not know about. If you got a couple skeletons in your closet, perhaps this is not the industry for you. If you're in the UK and you already happen to be SE cleared, then this industry could be a good one for you. It could be easier for you to get in because not everyone is willing to go through higher level security clearance, and recruiters will specifically be looking for people that are already SE cleared. So already this narrows down the amount of people that are applying for certain roles if they can't get in because they're not security cleared. Because of these restrictions, I'm going to give it 1.5 stars. Career growth potential. Now, I'm not that big of a fan with defense, and the reason for that is in recent years there have been mass turnovers. I don't know anyone that stays in defense for that long. I don't know what's going on in there, because obviously if you're not part of the secret society, you're not security cleared, you don't really know what's going on in there. When you enter some of the buildings, you're not even allowed to take your phone. So we don't know what's going on in there. All I know is that people go and they come out very fast. So I don't really see people going up the realms in defense. I do see like contractors going in for 6 months doing something that no one knows about and then coming out. But I don't really think for a new person, if you want to stay in project management for a very, very, very long time, it's the best industry to stay in. Also because it's very secretive, and defense have a very regimented way of delivering specific projects. If you then wanted to move to another industry, it might be hard for you to translate your experience to another industry and relate the ways of working in another industry. It really isn't as flexible as I think you should keep yourself at an early stage of your career, and for that reason I'm giving it 1 star. Pay and perks, on the other hand, let's give it 3 stars. Defense, they get paid. I don't know what they're doing inside that building. You had to take my phone before I went to work. But on the other side, the money is nice. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars. And then lastly then, let's talk about the healthcare industry, more specifically the NHS in the UK. The NHS, also known as the National Health Service, is a government-funded healthcare system within the UK that offers free and low-cost medical care to all UK residents. The projects that you're likely to encounter in this industry will be operation-based, improving ways of working, and also implementing new healthcare technologies. So for ease of entry, you don't need to be a doctor or anything like that. However, having a background in medical technology or having a background in something medical related is highly preferred. Also, the recruitment process, although very transparent, can be quite rigorous at times, and I don't really like all of that. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Career growth potential, well, the NHS has been around for a very long time, and I don't think it's gonna go anytime soon. So will their industry still be there? Will it be growing? We hope so. We don't know. It depends on the government. It's a government funded organization, so anything can happen. But for the last 10-15 years, it's been going steady. Underfunded, get that sorted, government, but it's been going steady, so I do think it's gonna stay around. This being said, in terms of career progression, the NHS can move slow. They also have a banded tier system, which is quite good for transparency, but in terms of you being able to move to the next band, you have to really fight your case, in my opinion, to get there. You can't just simply deliver and then get there. There's only a certain amount of promotions that can be made each year because funding is limited. Another thing is there is a high level of bureaucracy within the NHS, and this also leads to things moving very, very slow. The way in which things are done is very systematic, very slow, systematic. If you're trying to drive fast changes and process improvements, etc., you might have to go through 5, 6, 7, 8 stages. You won't be able to demonstrate your ability to move fast and make quick decisions, etc., similar to what you would be able to do in, say, the tech industry or the finance industry. Moving on to a different industry, if you decide to switch eventually, could be a little bit difficult. So overall, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. And then pays and perks, come on now, it's government funded, so I think that says everything we need to say. Pay is not the greatest. The pay increases are not the greatest. There are contracting roles though. I have seen a few contracting roles, more for very, very experienced PMs and program managers that have delivered heavily. So before you can probably get those roles, it'll be a while, but they do pay very well. At the initial stages, entry level, I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice personally, but it's an option. I'm gonna give it 1 star. All right, guys, so that is it. That was a lot. I feel like I need a glass of water because there were so many industries that you can look into getting into if you want to start your project management career. Now, if I had to give an overall, what I think is the best, drum roll please. The industry that I think is best for you to get into as a newbie or someone transitioning into project management from a different career previously will be where your technical expertise lies. I've said it so many times, guys, I'm not going to stop saying it. It's not going to change. It's so much harder to change career path, i.e. job role, and also industry at the same time. If you can focus on getting a project management role where your technical expertise lies, so for example, if you work as an account manager within the healthcare industry, trying to move to a PM role within the healthcare industry will be far easier than now trying to completely move into a PM role in, let's say, construction. Employers will value the fact that you can bring your technical expertise to the table, even if you can't bring project management experience. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what industry you're considering getting into. I would love to hear from you. Please drop your comments down below. If you disagree with anything I've also said, that's absolutely fine. I'm here for the conversation. Let's continue it down below as well. This is all just my opinion, and I'm hoping that this video has guided you a little bit on your PM journey. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and until next time, guys, see you later.